Welcome back, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. This is your boy Portal Rock 77, your only friend in these YouTube streets, coming back at you with another video. Check out the description box there. You'll see the link to my Twitter. Hit me up there with a follow so we could continue the conversation. And of course, you're always welcome to hit up the comment section. Also, you'll see the link to my PayPal if you choose to donate and support the channel. But if you don't, it's all good. Because what I appreciate the most is what you're doing right now, checking out the content. If you're new to the channel and this is the first time checking out one of my videos, welcome to the channel. I hope you stay by hitting the subscribe button and of course hitting the bell for notifications. So, PS Now download and my concerns. So let's start a little bit backtracking. Let's talk about, let's set the tempo real quick. Rumor has it that starting September, select games will be downloadable from the PS Now, so you don't have to stream them. Now you'll be able to directly download it. Doesn't specify if PC is involved in that, and so far the rumor is it's limited to just PS4. If that is the case, that just makes me believe that this will only be a console feature. Right? Only reason is because these PS4 games are already playable directly installed on the console. So they're not doing anything additional. They're not creating some type of emulation service, or they're not porting the games over to another platform, which would be the PC. So I have a feeling this feature is console exclusive feature, which can only be done on the PlayStation 4 platform. The fact that PlayStation 3, 2, 1, according to the rumors, is not available only leads to tell me that the reason why this is happening is because it's easy. PS4 probably means over time they're looking into, well, there's nothing really leading into that. I would believe that if they're going to try to make the entire library downloadable, they're going to have to find a way, whether it's through emulation or something. They're going to have to figure out a way, all right? But that's so far the rumors. So it's going to be probably a slow burn. Start out with PS4 games, and then over time, however way they're going to try to make it work with PS3, PS2, PS1 titles, they're going to figure that out, all right? Now, this is not the replacement, or this is not backwards compatibility, because again, if you have any of these games and you insert it, doesn't mean you have access to these games, especially if it's PS3, PS2, PS1. So this isn't really a backwards compatible feature. This is just pretty much like Game Pass in a way, But again, it's only limited to PS4 games, right? So, it's so far rumor, nothing confirmed. We'll find out as time goes on. Supposedly the rumor is it'll be ready by September. So we'll see how that goes, right? And then no mention of PC. So here's my concern, right? Because all I did was pretty much regurgitate something you could have read yourself. Here's my concern with this whole streaming PS Now stuff. Number one, I got two main concerns. Number one, I'm afraid of the level of quality of games that this will mean in the future. If this is the future of gaming, is subscribing to a service and you can play everything, I fear that the quality of games will lower. The bar will sink lower. Only reason being is because now these games will be looked at as games you just play for $10, $15 a month, and you play a whole bunch, as compared to buying one title for $60. Does that make sense? All right? Because in this type of world, then it's not really about playing a quality game. It's just playing a bunch of average games and having access to average games. And once every game becomes average, then within the average pile, you're gonna have great games. But not because the game is great. It's just because it's better than average. The quality, the bar is going to sink and drop low. And eventually we'll get used to it. And then we'll just get what you're going to get, because then the answer is just going to be, well, you're only paying 10, 15 bucks a month. You're not paying the full $60, With full $60, you only play one game. With $10 a month or whatever, you're playing dozens and hundreds or whatever. Thousands. Eventually, this could potentially be thousands of games. Imagine 10 years from now, over 10,000 games available for only 10 bucks a month. Then do you really expect to have quality? And that's my concern. The quality is going to diminish, because we went from each individual game being bought for $60 to now $10, just $10, $120 a year, right? You play hundreds and then eventually be thousands of games. So what kind of quality do you expect when they're selling you thousands of games for just $10 a month? What can you expect for $10 a month? What can you complain if you go from $60 per title to now $10 for hundreds of titles? Do you really have anything to stand on to complain about quality of game? But what could potentially happen is you're just gonna get quick, average games. You know? So that's my number one concern. My number one concern is the quality of the games. You know? I mean, let's be honest. Those of us that play God of War, does that feel like a game that belongs on a $10 service? Think about that. Does Horizon Zero Dawn feel like a game that you just pay $10 a month to play? You know? Don't you find it odd that recently Microsoft made the decision to go, hey, we're gonna put all our first party games day one on the subscription service that's $10, $12 a month, right? And then shortly after, when the games came out, games like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and soon Crackdown 3. Have you not noticed how the quality is as if Microsoft already knew that the quality of these games ain't really meant to be sold at $60, you know? And then you already hear the gamers. Look at the gamers. The gamers, let's be honest. I mean, it is what it is. To each their own. But these games are only getting a pass only because most of the people who are playing them ain't paying the $60. So the games are already getting a pass. And I'm going to tell you, the same is going to happen on the PlayStation community. Right now, we all about, you know, high quality AAA games. I guarantee if Sony implements and adopts this whole Game Pass type scenario and they start releasing average games, you're going to have PlayStation members community. They're going to do the same shit. They're going to damage control and say, well, you're only paying $10 a month and you got so many titles and you got some great PlayStation classics and PlayStation 2 classics. It's gonna happen, and the same shit's gonna happen on Nintendo. Everybody's gonna make excuses across every platform, and that's what ultimately is gonna happen. So that's my number one concern, that we're no longer gonna get these quality big titles. They're all gonna be average, right? And then eventually we're gonna be used to getting average games for so long that a game that's good is gonna feel great, but that's only because the bar has been dropped so low that it is what it is, you know? That's my number one concern. That's concern. I ain't gonna say number one, but that's my first concern. My second concern is these subscription services aren't unified. There's gonna be too many of them, right? You got Game Pass from Microsoft, right? Then you got EA Access Premier. Sony's doing their thing, right? You don't think eventually Activision, Square Enix, Ubisoft is gonna do their own stuff? You think Ubisoft is going to put their big titles and just let EA run away with the money and the royalties? Because Ubisoft has a huge portfolio of games too. Square Enix has a huge portfolio of games too. Eventually, they're all going to do their own thing. Soon, you're going to have a Square Enix account for $10 a month, right? Which means they're not going to put their games on EA or Game Pass or PS Now services, right? Or Ubisoft. And Ubisoft will do the same thing. EA will do their thing. You know, everybody's going to do their thing with their partners. All right? But if Ubisoft finally decides to be like, you know what? We're going to do our own Ubi Pass stuff because we have a huge assortment of titles and we could do it. That means all those Ubi titles will not be on PS Now or Game Pass. I know they showed it recently now, but all it takes is a decision for Ubisoft to be like, man, EA's making a lot of money off this EA Access Premier. I think we could do the same thing too. Especially when they have very popular titles too. Rainbow Six, you know, Division 2. They could easily create their own streaming services. Just like EA. Square Enix could do the same thing. Activision, they definitely could do it. I mean, they have Call of Duty. They got Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Activision could easily charge $15 a month just on Call of Duty alone. And people will subscribe to it. And if they subscribe to it, you know damn well Activision's not going to put Call of Duty on any other streaming service. Not on PS Now, not on EA Access, not nowhere. So then what happens when you have all these different companies doing streaming services and they each have their own unique library of games? Are we only really paying $10 to $15 a month? You know what I'm saying? just think about it this way. Let's just imagine. Let's say you're a PlayStation gamer, right? So you got PS Now, $10 a month. Let's say. I'm just making up numbers. And let's say you got another platform for EA Access, another $10 or $15 a month. Ubi, another $10-15 a month. Square Enix, Activision. You're talking maybe $50-60 a year. So what sounded good in the beginning as, man, I'm only paying $120 a year for all these games. That's the price of 2 games per year. Now you went from $10 to $50 a year. Now you're talking at least $600 a year in services, in games. And I would say 90% of the games you're not even gonna play. Because I just looked at the PS Now. I just looked at the PS Now store. I just looked at it, and somebody also sent me a link. There's a lot of shitty PS4 games I wouldn't even play or even care about. And the ones that I do care about, I already own it. So why am I paying $10 a month for, or $15 a month? Why would I subscribe to PS Now now? PS Now now. Why would I now subscribe to PS Now? Majority of the games that I want, I have, and the ones that I don't have are shit, and I don't care about. So I'm not really feeling this. I understand everybody's trying to copy the Netflix. It just doesn't look the same. It doesn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I'm subscribed to only Netflix. That's it. That's all I'm subscribed to. That is the only streaming service in terms of movies I'm subscribed to. As far as music, I'm subscribed to Spotify. I don't have 3-4 different music services I'm subscribed to. I have one I have one television movies type service, Netflix, and then one music, Spotify, and that's it. And it seems like everything goes to them. But this doesn't seem whatever. And then here's the thing. The quality of the movies, the shows, programming didn't diminish simply because Netflix was created. But I have a feeling that the creation of these game streaming services or, subscription services is going to diminish. Because again, you're not going to be creating $60 level games no more. The games are going to be looked at as $10 a month subscription games that you play along with everything else. And that's my main concern. That's my main concern. I play games, and I like to play quality games. I like to play nice, developed, quality, big blockbuster titles. I've always been that way. Gaming has always provided that. I don't want to hear. I don't really care about the whole. Well, you for $10 you get a whole library. I don't care about the whole library. Never in no generation has I played a whole library of games simply because majority of the games are shovelware. If you look at the entire library of every single console, a good portion of it is shovelware. It's trash games. I worry about playing the good ones, as best as possible. Of course, there's times I purchase games that are trash, but I'm worried about if I'm going to spend the time playing a game, I'm playing the best quality game that I could play. I don't care about a whole library of trash. That doesn't concern me. So that's my big thing. That's what's concerning about this whole streaming stuff. All right? Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comment section. Tell me how you feel. Are you concerned? Do you don't care? As long as you just play games, it doesn't matter the level of quality. Let me know. Hit me on the comment section. Put out your thoughts. And again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You'll see, I'll put it right here. You'll see the icon there that you can easily subscribe to if you're on your mobile phone or whatever, all right? Appreciate it. Thank you for rocking out and checking out my channel. This is your boy, Puerto Rock 77, your only friend on these YouTube streets. And I'm out. Peace.